Most people waste thousands of dollars on modifying their vehicles with the wrong things. And today we want to show you our top 5 mods that we recommend for your lifted Jeep, Bronco, or truck. Let's take a look. Our number 1 recommendation that we like to start off with any build is going to be your shock recommendation. Let's be honest, not all shocks are created equal. And here at Krietz Customs, we recognize that. With that, bigger is not always better. If you haven't seen our previous videos that talk about building the right vehicle for you, go ahead and take a look at those. We'll link to those down in the description. But in the meantime, let's talk about shocks. If you're doing a daily driver, you don't always need to upgrade to your Fox 2.5 reservoir or Carli long travel suspension. Most of our daily driver vehicles that we end up running with actually run the Rough Country N3 shock. That's actually what we have here on this Jeep 4xe. If you are in the market for suspension, you need to recognize that everything is not going to be the same. If you want to do a fair test though, it is worth noting, driving on a freshly paved concrete road is not where you want to make your difference in determining what's going to be the best ride for you. I myself have gone cheap on lift kits, and I'm sure you have as well, and you regret it night and day. But going from something like an Icon reservoir shock to maybe a strut spacer is where you're going to start to see some of those differences. If this vehicle that you're looking to build is a daily driver, I recommend always buy the best that you can afford without breaking the bank, but without sacrificing also on quality and performance. Here at Krietz Auto, we offer a variety of brands from BDS, Cognito, and more. So please go ahead and take a look at our website, talk to one of our aftermarket representatives if you want to work with them. But do keep in mind that any option that you're going to go with needs to be done for the right purpose. There are some suspension out there that are designed for off-road purpose alone, and those are the ones you want to be paying attention to before you buy. If you're doing a daily driver, I recommend go ahead and try and get a strut replacement if doable. But if you have a vehicle that is high tier, such as a high country or it has a special shock on it, a strut spacer will do you just fine. These are all things that we recommend when picking out shocks for your build. A common question we get asked all the time is, does the brand matter? The reality is, sometimes brands matter and sometimes they don't. If you're going with a strut spacer, billeted aluminum is always going to be billeted aluminum. However, if you are looking to increase your actual ride dampening, this is where upgrading to one of those higher tier suspension brands does matter, or going into just a replacement altogether. If you're running a stock shock and it's starting to feel a little bit harsh, it's not running through the travel as well, this is where going with something like a Bilstein or a Fox shock is going to bring the best ride quality out. This is also great if you're looking to upgrade to an air suspension. We work with Kelderman Airlifts as well, so this is where you're going to want to understand what you're getting out of your ride. Different suspensions do come with a different ride quality. This shows up when you're hitting bumps, taking turns, and especially if you're planning on off-roading. And I'm not looking at you guys driving to the Yellowstone Yogi Bear Park and looking to get through the street. All right, gravel roads is not what we mean by off-roading. I'm talking legitimately going through the woods, going through washouts and things of that nature. This is where we see the suspension difference show up. Number 2 on our list for 5 mods you want to do to your vehicle if you're not wanting to waste your money, and this comes down to your wheel and tire package. Quite frankly, it's about getting your wheel and tire sizing done right. We all love to look at 35s, but 35s is not a magical number for every vehicle. Not all vehicles are designed to be the same, and not every lift kit needs the same wheel and tire stance. As you see on this Jeep right here, we're running 35 by 1250 R22 tires, 22 by 12 inch wheels. Great look, no doubt, but every type of driving condition is going to require a different type of wheel and tire package. If you're someone who's doing full-fledged off-roading, that means you're going through trails, you're going over rocky terrain, you're maybe going through some washouts. Running 22 by 12s probably isn't going to be the recommended size for you. You're probably going to want to drop down to a 20 or an 18 or even go down to a 17. And then if you're getting into really hard off-roading, you're probably not even looking at a fuel wheel like this. You're probably looking at one of Fuel's beadlock wheels or something like a KMC or a Black Rhino. Knowing what size you're running is all going to be determined based on how you are actually looking to drive your vehicle. For your daily driver, you probably will like this. This is going to have a great feeling on the road while still keeping your pavement princess looking beautiful. But as far as picking out your ply, this is going to be part of your wheel and tire package. I've made this mistake, full transparency, of putting the highest ply tire on your vehicle. Had a 2018 Tacoma and I threw E-load tires on there, which are great for a heavy duty truck or a 1500, but on a Tacoma, all it did was make the ride stupid harsh. If I were doing off-roading, would have made perfect sense. But at the time of buying them, I did lie to myself and say I was gonna off-road, and that thing only saw dirt when I was going fishing or going through a gravel parking lot. So make sure you're not overdoing your tire ply when you are doing a wheel and tire package, but also don't undersell it. If you have a heavy duty truck, maybe it's a dually, a 3500, do not settle for a standard ply tire. This is not going to be recommended one for your daily driving or with your towing. Stance is also going to be equally critical. You never want to be that guy where you spend all this money jacking your vehicle up, but then your tires are sitting in here like this, almost reverse Eiffel towering it. It first off looks goofy. Let's just call it what it is. You look goofy, all right? So don't cheap out and go get 20x9s with an 80-inch lift, all right? We wanna make sure we're proportionate here. Widening that base is gonna help you to have the best traction going forward, but also in your turning. It's gonna give your vehicle a very stable ride while also adding to the overall look of your vehicle. Now, I'm not bashing 20x9s. This is actually one of my preferred looks. So, keeping your vehicle proportionate is what we recommend whenever doing any build, whether that's high and wide or small and narrow. So, ask those questions before doing your build, and feel free to stop by and talk with one of our reps if you are looking to get wheels and tires on your vehicle. All right, third item on the list that we want to look at when we're doing builds on any of our vehicles is going to be your steering and suspension components. And I'm not just talking shocks. Look, it's great if your vehicle has the best tier suspension on there, but if you're not doing your routine maintenance to basic suspension components or adding in some of those bonus features that they don't always come with from factory, you are missing out and wasting your money. You can run Fox 2.5 shocks and good for you. However, if you aren't throwing a dual steering stabilizer on a Jeep or upgrading maybe your pitman arm on your heavy duty trucks, you are missing out. You're putting your money in the wrong spot. You can actually run a lower tier shock, maybe a Fox 2.0. As you can tell, it's one of my favorite ones out there, or even a Rough Country M1 shock, which I have run before, and those all work great. But if I were to put that on a Jeep and I didn't throw on a dual steering stabilizer or some sort of a track bar that's going to tighten things up, you're going to start to experience death wobble. This does vary from vehicle to vehicle. Not every vehicle has the same front end suspension configuration, so you do need to do a little bit of research to know what's going to help your vehicle. One of the best things I do recommend though is if you're in the area and you want to work with the Krietz Customs team, get an appointment set up with our service team. We love to look over your vehicle because it may be as simple as changing out your upper control arms or a lower ball joint somewhere, then replacing the entire lift kit. Don't get me wrong, I want you riding in style, but I also want you riding safely. Oftentimes it's your safety components that we neglect the most, and we spend all this money making it look beautiful, but we're really one bump away from a car crash or something catastrophic. So, number 3 though, like we said on this, is going to be upgrading your basic steering components. All right, the fourth item that we're going to be looking at that is worth spending your money on is actually going to be lighting. We're very fortunate nowadays to live in a time where most vehicles have pretty decent lighting coming from factory, but not all lights are created equal, and not all lights are going to be enough to actually make you handle the trails properly or have good visibility in different conditions. Lighting is a great way to help yourself see not only at night, but through fog or if you're looking to go off-road. Some of the different accessories you can add that I'm a fan favorite of, and so is the Krietz Custom team, is going to be ditch lights. Your pod lights up by your windshield are a great option. We don't have them on this Jeep here currently, but that is a great way to actually get some visibility into the sides as well as just kind of in front of you. You can go with amber lights. This is great for foggy conditions, or if you go with white lights, it looks good, it's clean, and it is still going to help your visibility a lot more than having none. We work with brands such as Morimoto headlights, Rigid lights, and a few others to help provide your off-roading needs. Let's also take a look at the wheels though real quick. Rock lights or wheel ring lights. There is a pretty factor to it, right? We all like to pull up to our local gas station. If you're in this area, it's probably your local Sheetz. All right, it just is what it is. You hit on your rock lights, it looks cool, it looks great, and it also helps highlight your wheel and tire package that we just talked about 2 clips ago. So make sure you're upgrading with good quality lights. Last thing you want is a battery drain because you cheaped out and got some Amazon lights that were just a bunch of numbers and letters that was your part description and your company name. Make sure you're investing in good quality lights so you're not wasting thousands on something you shouldn't be. Number 5 on our agenda for things that you need to not waste thousands on your vehicle is gonna be right here. It's your new pair of shoes. That's right, guys, we are talking about tires. Reason that we need to be very attentive to what tires we're going with is because this is your first point of contact on the road. Look, I've been there. You see the suspension, you hear your friends talking about the best lift brands, you see the wheels, and you're like, yes, but then you get to tires and you go, oh crud, I've got $5 left and I need to stretch it for 5 new tires. Don't be that guy. Invest in a quality tire. Let's talk about the difference though between tires. Because there are price ranges when you look at tires, it can become really confusing. Why in the world would a Nitto tire be so much higher than a Fury or an Avix? Why can I go get a Goodyear at a local tire shop and it not have the same type of performance as maybe a Toyo would depending on the brand? You are paying for what you get. Oftentimes your cheaper priced tires, they're going to have a little bit difference in performance. You might see a difference in road noise, tread wear, overall handling, and just the smoothness of your ride. This can also show up in your inclement weather conditions. Oftentimes what I've seen is that your cheaper tires, maybe a Fury or an Avix, they look great up front, but there are some minor differences between those and a Nitto or a Toyo, or my personal favorite, the Mickey Thompson Baja Boss AT. These are all premium tires, and where they start to outshine some of your mid-grade tires is going to be in overall tread life, your hookup in inclement weather, but also your road noise. True story, took a customer on a ride with the Nitto Recon Grappler. Customer was worried about road noise and he wanted something that was gonna last him for a while. We hopped in it, rolled down the windows, we're going about 55 miles per hour, and I said, hey, can you hear the road noise? And he said, what are you talking about? I said, exactly. That is some of the difference you're going to find in a premium tire. Now, I don't want to crap on the Fury Country Hunter RTs. These are solid tires, but something like a Fury tire, an Avix, or even a Hercules tire, they're gonna be what you call a mid-grade tire. So, still gonna have great hookup in inclement weather. They're going to be great for your daily driver. They're gonna help you fit the budget you need. However, they may not have as much tread life as you're going to get in a top tier tire. Part of this though, I do gotta give word to the wise, is keep up with your inflations, tire rotations, and making sure your wheels are getting road force balanced. A lot of times people will spend money on their Nitto Ridge Grapplers and complain about them maybe not handling well in the long run, but once you ask them, did you rotate your tires? Did you keep up with your inflation? Usually the answer is no. Make sure you're keeping up with your routine maintenance on your suspension components and your wheels if you want to get the best tread life out of your tires. So number 5, make sure you're investing good quality money in your first point of contact. All right, guys, that's a wrap. That brings us to our 5 modifications you want to do when upgrading any of your lifted vehicles, such as your lift, wheels, tires, you name it on these vehicles. Stop wasting your money and go check out KrietzCustoms.com and check out our online parts store if you want to have your wheels and tires shipped to you. Or if you're looking to have us build, stop by our location here in Frederick, Maryland, or give us a buzz. We want to work with you to get your dream build accomplished. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you can stay up to date with any of our latest and greatest content we're putting out here with Krietz Customs. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss what's in store. I'm Nick, this is Krietz Customs, and dare to be different. See you in the next one. Okay, Krietz Custom family, don't forget about our end of the year giveaway. This year, we are trying to hit 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Our giveaway rules are pretty simple. Subscribe, like, comment, and it allows us to be able to notify you if you are the winner, but we do have to hit 50,000. You may be wondering what we're giving away. We're giving away a set of 22 by 12 inch fuel wheels and up to 35 inch tires. So if you want a new set of shoes and wheels for your ride, definitely make sure you subscribe and help us reach our goal so you can be riding in style. See you soon.